the first of two consecutive basketball nights in Arizona. Senior night for the ladies. Oh, my goodness. Senior night? It is that time of year. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. The March to the Madness. It will be March by the time we get to Saturday. So that makes a ton of sense that we are creeping up on senior nights for the winter sports, in particular the basketball teams, Arizona women and Arizona men. The ladies will be on the floor tonight at McHale Center. 6 o'clock will be the tip-off time. You can hear that game over on our sister station, KCUB-AM 1400. Derek Palmer will have the call tonight. Arizona has taken care of business. We said they needed to win 4 down the stretch to put themselves in a pretty nice position that would end their regular season with 19 victories. They took care of the first 2. BYU, relatively easy. Houston, not as easy. Took overtime down in the Lone Star State to get that victory. I ran into Salvo Copa, assistant coach, Adia Barnes' husband, over at campus today when we were over there for the Tommy Lloyd radio show. And I was joking with him. I said, yeah, pretty exciting game Saturday night. He said, yeah, exciting if you were on the outside of us. Not so exciting if you were us. But they got the W, and that's what matters. And then tonight is Texas Tech. They'll finish it out this weekend on the road in Tempe against the Sun Devils in their second meeting with ASU. ASU finally did end their long losing streak. They had lost, I believe 9 games in a row. But they took down BYU shortly after the Wildcats did last week. And then it's on to Kansas City for the ladies. And we'll let you know coming up here shortly right now where the Wildcats sit in terms of that situation. Right now, they will not be one of the teams, obviously, getting the double bye. And they are not in a position at the moment to get a single bye. So the Wildcats are going to be one of those teams likely, that's going to have to play all the way through if they want to win a championship and get the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament, which would be their 5th in a row. But again, you win out, and maybe you go down there and you get that first. You're going to be in a power position that first game. Get that win, and then see what happens in game 2, where you're probably going to be playing one of the higher seeds, if not the number 1 seed, which would likely be TCU.
They kind of need it.
Yeah.
The problem, folks, is that Arizona women are 59th in net, and they're 1-7 versus quad 1 teams, but Texas Tech and ASU are 86th and 130th, right? So neither of those two teams will qualify as a quad 1 win, which is what the tourney's looking at right now. So you mentioned they don't have a bye because they're tied with Colorado, right? And Colorado has the tiebreaker over them. So Colorado would be the 8th seed, and that's the last seed that gets a bye for the first day. But what they really need, DK, is they need to get a win over a quad 1 team to put that in the mind of the tournament selection committee. Because 1-7, that's the one bad thing you're looking at the schedule and looking at the results. 1-7 versus quad 1. Generally, that's a huge indicator of the teams. They're right there on the bubble, right. 59th currently in net. When the question rises of which of the bubble teams are most worthy, quad 1 win record and percentage is generally the first thing they look at. So good to get a win, these last 2 wins, and it would be great to get a win over a highly regarded team in the Big 12 tournament.
520-848-1290 is our phone number. JW Madden here with us today. Dragon Ball's got the day off. Cricket will be along. JW, if you could raise your camera just a little bit so the smiling folks on the web can see your gorgeous face there.
Don't you have control over it?
I don't. For some reason, since your camera first went out, I don't have control. I can zoom you in and out. Well, actually, I probably could have zoomed you. I can't, but it was showing full.
It's all good now.
Yeah, you're good. You're good now. Now that people can see you. If you're watching on one of our many video streams, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, no Instagram Live at the moment, but who knows? Maybe we'll go Instagram Live coming up here shortly. We are going to talk to Skylar Jones, the outstanding sophomore guard for the Arizona women's basketball team. That will be coming up later in this hour as the Wildcats get set for tip-off tonight at McHale Center. Saw the Texas Tech team. They were finishing up their shoot-around when we arrived for the Tommy Lloyd Weekly press conference show. The ladies were on the floor when we got out of Tommy Lloyd. In case you missed what the head coach had to say, we'll replay that for you coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, Tommy Lloyd's full press conference from today. But I do want to play you this part right here, right now, before we get to our first break of the 3 o'clock hour, because Tommy Lloyd did address a number of things right off the bat, and one of those was the situation with the Zona Zoo and what transpired after the ball game on Saturday night.
Was it a bad call? I stick by my guns like that. By that, I mean other people may not think it was. Did I love the way our defense played? No, but it was a great college basketball game. I mean, you had two teams going at it. I mean, there was some high-level offense on both sides. It goes down to the final possession. I mean, what an awesome game. And listen, I've competed against BYU for years, and I really enjoy doing that. My biggest disappointment was the way our fans and students, reacted to some of their players coming off the court. There's no place in society, let's just start with that overall, but especially in collegiate athletics, where anyone's religion or race should become a focal point, ever. So that was my biggest disappointment. And I know maybe BYU's probably, it's not the first time it's happened to them. And it's disappointing that it continues to happen. And hopefully, with us, being full-time members in a conference with them, that our fans will learn that that's just not acceptable. I mean, and so to me, that was the overriding disappointment more than just the result of the game. Was that. So hopefully it's an opportunity to be better and do better, and we all take it as that.
All right, so that was Tommy Lloyd talking about the Zona Zoo situation that transpired at the end of the game on Saturday night. In case you did not see it, the Zona Zoo released a statement of their own, and I'll read it to you. This was yesterday. The actions by students after Arizona versus BYU were unacceptable and are not reflective of the 14,000 Zona Zoo members or our Zona Zoo crew. We've taken steps on our end to address the situation internally to prevent future incidents like this from ever happening again. We want to apologize to BYU men's basketball, members of the LDS Faith, and at BYU Rock, and all fans for the words and actions after the game. As a student section, while our job is to make McHale a tough place to play, our mission is to bear down with pride and provide a welcoming environment to all. As a university organization, we are committed to the university's core values, including integrity, compassion, inclusion, and adaptation. We recognize and acknowledge that members of our Wildcat family, including some of our student athletes, are members of the LDS Faith. Fostering a positive environment where all students feel accepted and welcome is a top goal of the university and the Zona Zoo leadership. In the future, we will encourage all students to think about their intent and impact with all words and actions to bear down with pride. That the statement from the Zona Zoo yesterday in regards to the incident that took place on Saturday. What are your thoughts on that? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We'll also dive into some spring training. Jordan Montgomery was on the bump today in Phoenix. That's good to see. We'll let you hear what Jordan Montgomery had to say preseason. He's been battling a little bit of a finger situation. So he had not thrown much. Now, he didn't pitch. Let me rephrase that. He didn't pitch in the game. He threw a bullpen session. So just let me clarify that. He was not on the mound in the exhibition game today, but he did throw in the pen. And that's a positive start for a guy who needs some positives going into this season. So we'll dive into that as well as a whole lot more. DK on the Sports Tip. Bobby Hurley talked today about the dismissal of B.J. Freeman. We'll dive into that as well. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Don't let the urge to sing along to that catchy tune distract you from that truck drifting toward your lane or that lane-splitting biker creeping up beside you. Fortunately, every Hyundai offers advanced safety features that can alert you to potential dangers around you. And Hyundai has over 120 IIHS top safety awards since 2006 because Hyundai is always working to ensure that the road doesn't get you. Hyundai vehicles have won over 120 IIHS top safety awards from 2006 to 2024. All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Lowe's knows how to help you get the most out of your store run. That's why members save more with MyLowe's Rewards. Earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases. Get access to member-only deals and free member gifts. Plus, unlock free standard shipping when you reach Silver Key status. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
O'Reilly. You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's. And graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Flexible online and hybrid classes start March 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's. We help. You save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu.
Totaled in Tucson.
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
to Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. I-10 and Star Pass have a collision on the eastbound side of I-10 near Star Pass. A collision and freeway slowing on eastbound I-10 approaching Star Pass. Other collisions, 22nd Street and Alvernon Way, Cortero Farms Road, and Old Father. 53 the overnight low, sunny, 84 tomorrow and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona women's basketball in action tonight at McHale Center. They'll be taking on Texas Tech. 6 o'clock will be the game time on that contest. Derek Palmer will have the call. 5:45 over on KCUB-AM 1400. And then again, one game left after this game tonight. This is the final home game for the ladies. 2 home games left for the men. The men will be home tomorrow night, obviously against Utah. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off at McHale Center. Our coverage tomorrow will be on the air at 3:30, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Utah Utes, who, if you did not hear, fired their coach yesterday, Craig Smith. And then the final home game for the men will be next week, their rivalry game, the return match against Arizona State, before they finish out a week from Saturday. So they'll be on the road the next 2 Saturdays. This week at Iowa State. Next week, they'll be on the road at Kansas. And then it's on to Kansas City. Well, they'll probably just stay on the road there and go straight to Kansas City, I would imagine. Let's talk a little bit about the NBA and one of the Wildcats legends, so to say. How many years? Iggy only played here 1 year, or was it 2? 2 years. Played here 2 years. Andre Iguodala inducted into the Ring of Honor for the Golden State Warriors. We had mentioned this was going to be happening a few weeks ago, and it was it Monday night, J-Dub, or Sunday night? Sunday night, I believe it was. Sunday that he got inducted. Sunday night. Yes, it was Sunday night up in Oakland. And a tremendous ceremony. It was cool. They had all the mics were wrapped in his number 9, which I thought was a really cool little way for them to celebrate, a little accent for them to celebrate this ceremony for Andre Iguodala, who was a huge veteran part of those 4 NBA championships that they won with the likes of, obviously, Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and Steph Curry. Let's hear a little bit of the opening of the ceremony for Andre Iguodala when he was introduced to the Warriors crowd for his retirement ceremony.
From the University of Arizona, he's a 6-time NBA finalist, a 4-time NBA champion, your 2015 NBA Finals MVP, the one, the only, number 9, Andre Iguodala.
All right, that's a strong PA guy there. Steve Kerr spoke on Andre and the legacy of U of A basketball.
When you think about winning, I think about this guy. With 9 championships as a player and a coach, and just for good measure, added a gold medal in Paris for Team USA this summer. 4 times he's led the Warriors to a title. Mr. Strength in Numbers, give it up for Steve Kerr.
Thank you. Thank you, Andre. My fellow Wildcat. Bob mentioned the story, but when I got here, I'd never coached at all, and my first thought watching film of the team was, we could turn Andre into Manu Ginobili, bring him off the bench, man, that would be really powerful. I had never coached a day in my life. You had never come off the bench in your entire life. The only thing we really shared was our connection to Coach Olson. And so I really leaned into that, but I'll be honest, when I went to you to ask you to come off the bench, I was kind of scared. I was kind of terrified. Like, who am I to ask this all-star to come off the bench and make this sacrifice? So that was not an easy decision. And I don't want to say that it was easy for you. Those first couple of months, I thought you were trying to do it, but it was a little bit of a struggle trying to find the rhythm of the whole thing. But you accepted the opportunity to make our team better in a way that I felt strongly about. And you recognized it immediately because we shared the same basketball vision that Coach Olson taught us way back in Tucson back in the day.
What do you think about that comparison to Manu Ginobili and what he was able to do for those championship Spurs teams?
Well, I think the relative comparison being that Manu wasn't the first guy you think of. You think of Tim Duncan. You obviously think of Tony Parker. Completely different players. I mean, what Manu brought to the Spurs and what Andre Iguodala brought to the Warriors, primarily Manu was a scorer off the bench. And Iguodala's always been the consummate glue guy, where it's really whatever you need, but primarily he's trying to set his fellow teammates up for easy buckets. That's what Andre Iguodala has always been, rebounding and always one of the better perimeter defenders for his position that during his time in the league. The big issue there is when you're talking about, Manu being the guy that the Spurs don't win titles without him is, I think, Steve Kerr's main reference there. Turning him into a guy who comes off the bench and injects a level of maturity and experience and whatever it takes to get the job done. It's just that in Manu's role, he was primarily a guy to come in and, get buckets and put up 25 off the bench. Iguodala, I mean, even his time at Arizona as a sophomore, I think he averaged 5 assists. Mm-hmm. So he was always that guy who was trying to do whatever it takes to win games. And when you've got guys like Steph and Clay, the best shooting backcourt in NBA history, Draymond, very underrated, pretty much everything he does. They had a lot of star power on that team. Iguodala, people remember, came up with Allen Iverson. So he's used to, from day one, playing among mega superstars. That was a younger core group, and him coming in as kind of the elder statesman. I think he was like 8 or 9 years into his NBA career when he joined the Warriors, was just the perfect blend to come off and really solidify that second unit and, making that sacrifice and what Coach Kerr said right there, deciding that he was okay with coming off the bench and taking a lesser role and whatever it takes to win is a big reason why they won 4 titles while he was there.
Well, and one of the things, obviously, that we discussed a few weeks ago was the fact that this is happening. He's obviously now retired, first year out of the league, but his compadres on those championship teams are all still playing. Steph and Draymond obviously still in Golden State, Clay down in Dallas now, and he being the first. And I'd said, I understand that he's going to be on that list. I thought maybe they should wait with him until they had gotten the other guys up there because, like we just talked about, they were the primary starters. And although a very important piece, Iguodala came off the bench, he even discussed the fact that he was being honored while his Golden State Warrior teammates are still competing for titles.
It's one of my favorite Mark Jackson quotes. Father Time is undefeated. So, I was able to come in, 9 years into the league. And so I had the opportunity to kind of help those guys as they were younger coming into their own. But then also, it's rare, I think, in professional sports, you see a guy that's kind of still in his prime and kind of take a back seat or actually willingly move out the way for the up-and-coming guys. I mean, Steph, he didn't make it. It wasn't that hard to move out the way. Clay, too. Draymond, too. And so it was just a great, unique situation. It's actually funny that you start to celebrate it while it's kind of still going on. Those guys are still on the court, still playing very well. Amanda Chin and I were looking at some dates, and this date was perfect. I mean, it worked out perfectly with Clay being able to be here. I think my first time coming back to a game was
Clay's return game with the busy schedule. So I think it's been beautiful, though, because I haven't been able to – I don't know if you're ever really able to appreciate kind of what you've done because you're still in it. And my life right now is like I'm still in it. It's even more busy. So hopefully get a chance to properly reflect. But just that competitive nature and spirit, like you never really get a chance to appreciate your accomplishments.
All right, we're going to hear more from Andre Iguodala and those teams, those Golden State Warriors teams that were able to win 4 titles, how they changed the NBA game. We also have some breaking news that we will get to after this coming break. It is DK on the Sports Tip. You are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall is your premier automotive destination in town. Explore the new 2025 Honda models and extensive collection of pre-owned vehicles. Experience no-hassle financing and our no-haggle one-price selection. Visit AutoNation Honda Tucson at the Auto Mall today.
Did you miss the big game?
They need a 3 to get to overtime.
You know we got you covered.
Midcourt, shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
Trying to keep it close, and you never give up. I guess that's life in the Big 12.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start March 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text RULE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text RULE to 42424. That's RULE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at CoolWillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
Hey, it's DK on the Sports Tip. Don't miss a minute of the best Arizona Wildcats coverage in town. Tell your Alexa device to play Wildcats Radio 1290. This is your home of Arizona football, men's basketball, and baseball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
If a baby is giggling in the back seat, they're probably happy. If a baby is crying in the back seat, they're probably hungry. But if a baby is sleeping in the back seat, will you remember they're even there? When you're distracted, stressed, or not usually the one who drives them, the chances of forgetting them in the back seat are much higher. It can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot fast and can be deadly. So get in the habit of checking the back seat when you leave. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
As a veteran, I live with health impacts from my service. VA gives me exceptional care and helped me gain the best quality of life.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov. Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Breaking news this Tuesday afternoon in Arizona. Diana Taurasi, the all-time leading scorer in the WNBA, has announced that she is retiring after 20 seasons in the league. Taurasi, 42 years old, the most decorated player in women's basketball history, spent her entire career here in the desert with the Phoenix Mercury, scored over 10,600 points in her career, the only WNBA player to surpass the 10,000 mark in scoring. Scored another close to 1,500 points in 72 playoff games. Drafted number 1 overall 21 years ago in 2004. She led the Phoenix Mercury to 3 WNBA championships in 2007, 2009, 2014, a 5-time WNBA scoring champion, a 14-time WNBA All-Star, the league MVP in 2009, as well as the finals MVP in 2009 and 14. Diana Taurasi, as we expected might happen, saying goodbye to professional basketball on this Tuesday, February the 25th.
Yeah, just to put in perspective that 10,000 point number, she's currently 3,000 points ahead, DK, of Tina Charles in second place. So that's 70%. So it's outrageous. Also the 21 years. I mean, she and LeBron, right, have both basically paralleled each other's careers. What can you say, about what she's contributed to the game and to the city of Phoenix? Just an amazing athlete, amazing spokesperson, all the things. We kind of knew this might be, we knew last year that it could potentially be the last time around. Maybe some people were hoping that there would be that farewell tour that some players have chosen, but doesn't look like fans are going to get a chance to say goodbye outside of those people in the Phoenix arena last year when the rumors were that potentially could be her last game there playing in Phoenix.
We're coming up on traffic, but let's first hear her speech to the crowd at the Footprint Center, which is, I guess it's no longer the Footprint Center, but it was then. So we can still call it that for this particular soundbite. This was at the final home game last season for the Phoenix Mercury.
There's really no place to start, but there's always a place to finish, and it seems to be in the same place, which, as you guys know, when I got here in 2004, I kind of knew I was going to be here for a long time. I had a feeling that this was home in a strange and mysterious way. The people here, the city, And thinking back on 20 years and what we've done as a franchise, putting banners up in the stands, knowing, that was you guys. Yeah. Knowing every single night that we came into this building, we had you guys behind our back. And if it is the last time, if it is the last time, no. I think they tricked Sue with that one last time. But I want to thank every single coach, every single player, every single person that's put on a WNBA jersey, because it takes a village. And our league is about uplifting each other at every turn. And to see where we are now, 28 years later, for the ones who played before, dang, Leo. Jeez. For everyone who played before this league is where it is now, we're thankful for you guys, and we're thankful for the next generation. But if it is the last time, it felt like the first time. I love you guys.
Diana Taurasi at the final home game last year for the Phoenix Mercury. That was the speech she gave. You heard her reference her son, Leo. I believe it will be 7, actually, on Saturday. He'll be 7 years old on Saturday. So he was 6 at the time. I think he hit his mom's leg pretty hard.
Well, she was talking. I was watching. Yeah, I pulled that. She was talking, and he was, very interested in making sure that he had her attention. Right. And she was addressing all of Phoenix at the time.
Diana Taurasi, married to her former teammate with the Phoenix Mercury, Penny Taylor, for a long time. They've got 2 children together. We'll talk more about this. Let's get to cricket and get your traffic here, and we'll let you hear a few more things before we get to the next break. Traffic every 20 minutes on the 5s with cricket.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. A wreck occurred on eastbound I-10 at Star Pass, not blocking off on the right, eastbound I-10 at Star Pass. Freeway slowdowns on eastbound I-10 between Grant Road and Star Pass. Other collisions, 22nd Street and Alvernon Way, and also Cortero Farms Road and Old Father. And for your weather, clear, 53 overnight, sunny, 84 tomorrow, and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big. But there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
DK on the Sports Tip coming to you live from the CMWT, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Breaking news on this Tuesday afternoon, Diana Taurasi, longtime captain for the WNBA's Phoenix Mercury here in the State 48, has made the announcement that she is retiring after 20 seasons in the league. Did we mention, I went down the list of accolades, left out a few. 6 Olympic gold medals. No one has ever done that for the United States of America. Just a tremendous, tremendous list of accomplishments for Diana Taurasi. I think she also won a national championship, or more than one, in college as well for the University of Kentucky. One of those,
UConn.
University of Connecticut. My bad. 3 national titles. Yes, 3 national titles.
I think
in
she was
a row.
3-time Player of the Year too. I mean, she was
2-time Naismith Player of the Year.
She was so good. I mean, for all the accolades you're talking about the WNBA, like she might have been the best college player I've ever seen. Like she was so good.
Won those gold medals in Athens at 2004 as a rookie. Beijing in 2008, London 2012, Rio de Janeiro in 2016, Tokyo in the COVID 2021 games, which were initially slated for 2020, and then most recently in Paris just 1 year ago. Let's hear the tribute that they played for Diana Taurasi that same night of the final home game. This was back on September the 19th of 2024. The Mercury's final home game. This was the tribute they played that night.
Dear D.
If this is it, if this is your final regular season game in front of the X Factor,
how do we say thank you 7,427 times?
Goat delivers again!
One for every day we were proud to have you wear our uniform.
Face of the franchise just doesn't cut it for someone who has been the Mercury heartbeat for 20 of our 28 seasons.
if this is it, how do we thank someone not for what they did, but what they gave?
Not just how you scored, but how you competed.
Not just how you celebrated the wins, but how you hated to lose.
If this is it, thank you for letting us share in the joy.
For the banners and the MVPs.
For 10,000.
For getting to see you on that medal stand 6 times.
For letting us call you GOAT, even though you hated it.
And for the technicals where you really got your money's worth.
If this is it, thank you for the sacrifices.
For the injuries we never knew about.
For 365-day seasons.
For allowing a city you'd never visited to become your family's home.
If this is it, thank you for the moments.
It feels good to be home.
For the passes we didn't see coming.
And the shots we knew were going in before they left your hand.
Diana's done it! She is 1 of 1!
Thank you not just for the elimination game wins.
Taurasi a 3 for the lead!
But for what it felt like to have you on our side on those nights.
Taurasi the pull-up, it's good, and the foul!
The fire, the laughs, for loving the game and never cheating it.
For the ones who picked up a ball to be like you, who pull up from the logo because you did.
In playing the right way, you represented a city, changed a franchise, and lifted a league.
We hope you felt us behind you every step of the way.
If this is it, most of all, thank you for doing it all in one uniform.
Ryder finds Taurasi a 3. It's good! She got it! The GOAT delivers again!
If this is it, thank you will never be enough. But it's a start.
Love all of us.
That was the tribute to Diana Taurasi last September the 19th, 2024 at the Mercury's last regular season home game. I mentioned 3 WNBA championships she won here in the desert, but how about 7 championships, 17 championships she won playing in Russia. One of the many WNBA stars for years who played in Russia. I don't think we'll see anything to that level ever again because women's players are no longer going over to Russia to play basketball.
Why is that, DK?
Well, they're kind of at war right now.
Also, there was a bit of an incident with a player from Phoenix, too.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
They kind of detained Brittany Griner for close to, what was that, about 8 or 9 months?
And also, they're really making a good effort to get some more money into the hands of WNBA with their new, the league they've got. They just started the 4-team league and that whole thing. So, yeah, they're making strides.
Indeed. Want to hear your thoughts on the retirement of Diana Taurasi today, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. How many times did you get a chance to see her play for the Phoenix Mercury? Were you a part of any of those championship runs in terms of being in the crowd up in Phoenix for any of those games when they won those titles? Love to hear your thoughts on all of that today. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Again, you can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. You can download our app, the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. Download it. We've got all kinds of great content on our app. All of our shows, if you missed any of our interviews last week from the rodeo, you'll want to definitely head over to our app and get that information there. Talk to a ton of people. I do want to read you the statement. A lot of statements are coming in around the retirement of Diana Taurasi. This statement from Mercury and Sons owner Matt Ishbia. Diana is the greatest to have ever played the game. I've been a fan of her my entire life. She's the ultimate leader and teammate. She's had an incredible impact on our franchise, our community, and the game of basketball. Her name is synonymous with the Phoenix Mercury, and she will forever be a part of our family. That from Suns owner Matt Ishbia. I remember a few years ago, I want to say, gosh, it has been maybe 3 or 4 years ago when she came to an Arizona women's basketball game. I remember it was a Sunday game, and just, stayed and chatted with fans after the game and on the floor, and just, her and Penny, I think it was her and Penny that were both there, and Leo might have been with them. I remember they had one of the children with them, and just a very, very lady of the people, I guess is the best way to put it.
One of the coolest things is she's grounded and has always been that kind of lunch pail superstar where you don't, expect her to demand the perfect steak or she's going to throw a fit. Like, she's the kind of person, and always has been, who's very approachable and has always been seemingly very down to earth and grounded. And that's rare, especially when you're talking about the greatest in the history of a sport, right? I mean, I don't think a lot of people will argue potentially down the road that's not going to be the case. But as of today, Diana Taurasi is the greatest women's basketball player of all time. And so having someone like that with that much skill and ability to change the game, who's also comfortable talking to the average fan who wants to know a thing or two about, what's going on, that's commendable, DK, because it's rare these days that people stay grounded with all that fame.
Another statement coming in from WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Diana Taurasi is one of the greatest competitors to ever play the game of basketball on any stage. In a record-setting career that saw her play 20 seasons, score more points, and make more three-point shots than any player in WNBA history, she has earned the unquestioned respect of players around the globe, delivered electrifying moments, and captivated fans again and again. On behalf of the WNBA family, I thank Diana for everything that she has brought to the WNBA, her passion, her charisma, and most of all, her relentless dedication to the game. She leaves a lasting legacy, and the future of the WNBA is in a great position because of her impact that will be felt for generations to come. That from the commissioner of the WNBA, Kathy Engelbert.
If I had to pick like an image or a memory in my brain of Diana Taurasi, it would be way back in her time at UConn. And it really set the stage for how I've always viewed her, DK, which is the ultimate competitor who only wants to win at all costs. And when you combine that with the desire to get up at 3 a.m. and get up 1,000 jump shots in the offseason and the dedication it takes to hone your craft over time, above and beyond all else, I mean, she was always the ultimate competitor. I mean, the look on her face when her team was on the downside of a 5-0 run way back when she was playing in stores, and she's always held that. And that's what makes her so great, is that it really matters. It really matters to her, who walks away at the end of the day. And unfortunately, that's not always the case. And she not only was a singular force, and the numbers speak for themselves, but the championships, Olympics here, overseas, That's because she never wanted to leave the court as a loser. She always wanted to walk away with the title, and that carried throughout her entire 20-year-plus career, going all the way back to her 3 years in college or whatever. So,
well, yeah, 4, and it was after that 2001 loss to Notre Dame. They lost in the Final Four, that she vowed that UConn would not lose another tournament game while I'm wearing this uniform.
Right.
And they
Who
would
says
go,
that?
Yeah.
As a college player, right?
They would go on to win the next 3 national titles.
Amazing.
18 straight tournament wins. They were 22-1 in the NCAA tournament during the 4 years that she played in Stores. And prior to that game, her senior year, that national championship game, her senior year, Gino Auriemma, the head coach, longtime head coach of UConn, was asked about why the Huskies would win the title, and he simply said, "We have Diana, and you don't."
Yeah. It really was like that. I mean, she would not lose.
Yeah. Great career for Diana Taurasi. All right, we'll have much more coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll let you hear Tommy Lloyd, what he had to say today as the Wildcats get set for Utah basketball tonight at the McHale Center, Arizona and Texas Tech. It is DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's cold outside and you need safe, reliable heat for you and your family. For a limited time, Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering a free furnace with the purchase of a qualifying HVAC split system. For fast, reliable service, call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturoxcooling.com.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Don't miss out on any of the action
Knocked away and grabbed by Jaden Bradley. On the run to the bucket, slam it home.
as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Bounce back to Basehart. Drives to the bucket and slams it home. Oh, he took off, Brian, outside the lane. How did he dunk that? Love, midcourt. Shot is up. Good! Love has hit a 3. We're going to overtime.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get slam dunk savings now at Royal Kia with hot lease offers. Get into a new 25 Kia K4 lease for $248 a month for 36 months with $3,500 due at signing and all taxes and fees included. Go electric and lease the 24 Kia EV6 for $267 a month for 24 months with $29.99 due at signing and all taxes and fees included. Or lease the 25 Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid for $289 a month for 36 months with $2,500 due at signing. Hurry in and score these hot offers today. Mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. Sportage plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Must finance release with Kia Motors Finance. OAC, no security deposit. K30974, K31232, K30633. See dealer for details. Offers end 3/3/25. Get these slam dunk savings and more now at Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Now Taxes is using Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get your refund so you can do more with it right in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Great. Thanks, William. Good meeting.
What about me? Who said that? Me.
Gary, I can hear you, but...
Where are you? Guys, I'm right here. You can't see me because I'm being transparent.
You're being transparent?
Yep, and we should do it company-wide, starting with how much it costs to get a Grizzly from Alaskan AC. This is freaking me out. Other places don't put payments on their websites. Know why?
Too much trouble?
Embarrassed?
They want to get in your house and twist your arm?
Could be any of those. Could be none of them. But like polar bear fur, we're transparent.
So people can go to AlaskanAC.com and get an instant payment?
You got it. Now you're being transparent.
Hey, I'm fading away.
I like it. Nothing hidden. Just an honest instant payment on their new Grizzly from AlaskanAC.com. Whoa, now I'm becoming transparent.
Doesn't it feel good?
We're all transparent.
And good thing, that shirt Ron was wearing was ugly.
I'm still here. Get a transparent payment on a new Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With collisions reported Kolb Road and Tanque Verde, Sunrise Drive and Pontotoc. Collision occurred eastbound I-10 near Star Pass. Some slowing on and off slowdowns on eastbound I-10 approaching Grant Road to Star Pass. Valencia and 12th Avenue, police activity and some slowing there. Overnight lows near 53, sunny, 84 tomorrow and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the miller's yard who now use True Green.
Their lawn started looking like a fairway and pro golfers started showing up.
They love playing this lawn. Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Touchdown, Arizona!
With press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play, we bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Great. Thanks, William. Good meeting.
What about me?
Who said that?
Me.
Gary, I can hear you, but...
Where are you?
Guys, I'm right here. You can't see me because I'm being transparent.
You're being transparent?
Yep, and we should do it company-wide. Starting with how much it costs to get a Grizzly from Alaskan AC.
This is freaking me out.
Other places don't put payments on their websites. Know why?
Too much trouble?
Embarrassed?
They want to get in your house and twist your arm?
Could be any of those. Could be none of them. But like polar bear fur, we're transparent.
So people can go to AlaskanAC.com and get an instant payment?
You got it. Now you're being transparent.
Hey, I'm fading away.
I like it. Nothing hidden. Just an honest instant payment on their new Grizzly from AlaskanAC.com. Whoa, now I'm becoming transparent.
Doesn't it feel good?
We're all transparent.
And good thing, that shirt Ron was wearing was ugly.
I'm still here. Get a transparent payment on a new Grizzly at AlaskanAC.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text RULE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text RULE to 42424. That's RULE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We are your home for all things Arizona basketball. 3 hours of pregame.
They're not going to finish the season 19-1, guys.
2 hours of postgame.
I guarantee you, Coach told the guys don't come over and help on him.
And all the action in between. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Pass deflected by Uzan. Uzan picks up the loose ball. Wants to attack to the hoop. Right hand off the glass for two. And a foul. Tugler hands it off to Cryer. Cryer off the screen, right elbow. Cryer looking to go baseline. Cryer all the way outside. Now to Roberts. Finds Tugler. Tugler, the right hand hammer and a foul. What a slam by JoJo Tugler. Cryer, the leaner, lost the ball, bounces around. Cryer has it, kick out Uzan, left wing three, got it! Milos Uzan with a massive left wing three to put the Cougars in front by 6.
Jeremy Branham with the calls on Houston Cougars Radio, courtesy of Learfield. That was the big game last night in the Big 12. Number 4 Cougars knock off Texas Tech down at the, what do they call that? The United Markets Arena or something like that. 69-61 the final for the Cougars. They are 16-1 in conference play. Remember a couple weeks ago we were talking about how many losses the champion was going to have? J-Dub, it might just be one. It might just be one loss.
United Supermarkets Arena.
Yeah, United Supermarkets Arena.
Yeah, I mean, you know how they won that game? They held a team that shoots 48% from the field to 30%. They shot 29.8%, did the Red Raiders.
Crazy.
Kelvin Sampson's defense does it again.
Crazy. On their home floor, 17 of 57 were the Red Raiders from the field. 6 of 30 from 3, and 4 of those were made by Kerwin Walton. It was an electric atmosphere. Fran Fraschilla, who's done a number of the Arizona Wildcats games on ESPN, was there last night. Does he live out here? He seems like he does a lot of these western side of the world games. He doesn't. I don't think he lives out here, though.
I don't know.
Very interesting. But, yeah, he said as good a college basketball atmosphere as he has seen this season.
I always pegged him for the kind of guy who lives in Rhode Island. I don't know where Fraschilla lives.
He seems like a guy, a New York kind of guy.
Yeah.
Right.
New York, New England border, somewhere in that area.
Milos Uzan, 22 points in that ball game. Juwan Roberts had 16. He went 10 of 12 from the line. And Houston just continues to roll. 16-1. So Houston has 3 games left. They will play at home against Cincinnati, at home against Kansas, and then end the season at Baylor. So those are the final 3 games for them to potentially finish this conference at 19-1. Now, the good news with that win, and that's what you kind of wanted to happen, was Houston to beat Texas Tech. That means that Arizona will go into their game tomorrow night with a half-game lead on the Red Raiders and a chance to at least put a game's worth of distance between themselves and Texas Tech with a victory. Right now, Arizona's sitting all alone in second place at 12-4. Then you've got Texas Tech at 12-5. Iowa State is sitting in 4th place currently at 11-5. And again, you want to be in one of those top 4 positions to get that double bye. Iowa State is still yet to play their second game of this weekend. They will play tonight on the road, I should say, at Oklahoma State. So Iowa State is on the road at Oklahoma State tonight before they head home to Ames and welcome in the Arizona Wildcats this Saturday night in what will be a very, very huge ball game for both teams. But right now, Arizona sitting pretty nice. A win would put them essentially 2.5 games up on BYU, which is that team that's kind of sitting in the 5th spot. Kansas is down there as well, 10-7. But BYU is obviously the one you would be concerned about, although the Wildcats have some tiebreakers there. So Arizona in a nice spot right now to get one of those top 4 seeds for Kansas City.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about this, but with 16 teams and potentially 8, 9 NCAA tournament quality level teams, you just want to be as rested and healthy as possible. So if you don't have to play that first day, DK, then that's a big bonus because it's just another day. You don't have to go 40 minutes against a team who's desperate to get a quality win and get into the NCAA tournament. So that first round bye, super important. I like the way Arizona has played very well despite losing, 3 games more recently, but they're in all those games, DK. So, as far as the way they're playing right now, you expect them to close it out pretty nice and bounce back after that loss. Obviously, we have yet to talk about really what it's going to be like to face a team that's circling the wagons. Just had their coach fired, tends to fire up the players who might take a little personal responsibility for Coach Smith getting fired. That's another story altogether. But final standings aside, 16-1 is the most. It's unbelievably impressive. A caveat is Kansas, the number 1 ranked team in the country, has not lived up to those expectations. They're currently not ranked, so the conference not quite at that strength. At preseason, what do they have? 5 top 10 teams in the preseason of the polls. Right. But 6, finishing the conference with 1 loss, can't say enough. And defense travels, DK. The way that Houston wins games is by finding ways to get big buckets down the stretch of games that are tight. That's a team that knows how to win close games, and that's how you get out to a 16-1 conference record so far.
We talked about yesterday what's happening up in Tempe. They'll be here next week. Bobby Hurley has dismissed B.J. Freeman from the squad. He talked about it on I believe this is from his pregame radio show, if I'm not mistaken.
This was postgame.
Postgame.
The last game they did after. Okay. It was the first game they played without BJ, and this is the first time the press had an opportunity to ask him about it.
Let's hear what Bobby Hurley had to say about the dismissal of B.J. Freeman.
As far as BJ, it was just unfortunate that it's come to this with just he's was our leading scorer, was a very productive player for us. It's just we had too many instances of either player or coach, conduct with BJ, and he was already suspended once. So it was a really hard decision to make. But he's based on this year, and he's got another season to play. I'm sure that he's going to still have a really good market for a place to land next year.
Can you talk about your guys stepping up in his absence? They played with a sense of urgency from the start.
It started defensively. I think I shared the stats with our team when we allow 70 points or more. We are 0-11 in the Big 12. On the season, when we hold teams under 70 points, we are 8-1. Well, now 9-1. So how we defend matters.
He made it pretty pointed that the defense has played much better. DK, I don't know if that's addition by subtraction or what's going on there. But, yeah, too many off-the-court extracurriculars. There's definitely a little bit of a rope that players are given. There's also, you're supposed to be here by this time, make sure your grades are this, and all the other requirements to be a student athlete. But clearly being dismissed, especially this late in the season as a leading scorer, enough is enough.
It is always interesting just to kind of look and see how these games are going to play out. Right now, if Arizona were to hold that 2 seed, Arizona men were to hold that 2 seed, they would likely play Baylor in that quarterfinal. 15 would play 10. Baylor right now is 7. Utah is 10. And Arizona State is 15. So Utah and Arizona right now would be the 2 teams that would play in that opening round game on that side of the bracket where Arizona is. The winner of that game would get Baylor. So you could, potentially if Arizona State could get a win, they play Baylor. And who knows, you could see Arizona State again in Kansas City. That would be fun. I mean, that hasn't happened a lot of times where maybe three, I think it's happened at least maybe 2-3 times since I've been here. I think that Arizona and Arizona State have played each other. Happened a few years ago, I remember, in Las Vegas, that the Wildcats played the Sun Devils again in the NCAA tournament. In fact, I think it was the year they beat the buzzer. That was 2 years ago now. I think it was the year they beat the buzzer, 23. So I think they played that year in the NCAA, or in the Pac-12 days, Pac-12 tournament.
You're allowed to say Pac in this case.
Yes. In this case, I can say the Pac-12
Let's see.
tournament.
They played 3 times in 2023.
Yeah, that's right.
Also, yeah, not a lot. I mean, going back, it looks like just 2 for most of the years. 2009, they played 3 times. But yeah, mostly just the 2. They have not faced off too many times in the postseason basketball tournament.
Now, in terms of the women, nothing has changed on that side from what we talked about prior to the Wildcats going to Houston on Saturday night. They're still sitting in that 9 slot, which means they would play Houston again if the season ended today. I don't know whether they're tied with Colorado's, and so I don't know. Colorado beat Arizona, so Colorado would likely have the tiebreaker over Arizona. So Arizona would play Houston, and then they would potentially play Colorado again. So Colorado would be the last team to get at least one bye because it's the top 8 in this new conference. So Arizona would potentially play Colorado. This is women we're talking about now in that second game in Kansas City, with the winner getting what would now be number 1 Baylor, because Baylor is a half game up in the conference on TCU. And they've won 9 in a row. The Baylor women have won 9 games in a row. They're hot right now.
Yeah, if Cats stay in the 9 spot, they'd have to pull a Kemba Walker. So you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'd have to win your games 5 consecutive days to get to that title game.
Potentially, and then I think that game potentially could go to Monday if it's BYU, right? So you might get a day. You might hope BYU gets there and you get a day off. But
right, yeah, the final game.
That's likely not going to happen.
Sunday the 9th.
Because they're 4-12 are the BYU women. And they lost to ASU, so I don't think they're going to go deep in that tournament. Texas Tech comes in here tonight having lost 8 games in a row, the longest losing streak right now on the women's side in the Big 12. 520-848-1290. We're going to hear from Tommy Lloyd coming up, his weekly press conference show. A lot of good stuff, as always, coming out of that. However, before we get to Tommy Lloyd, we have got cricket here. I knew I was going to hit the wrong camera. It's like you guys time. I should know all this time. When it's 3 people, when it's 4 people, what the button is I'm supposed to hit. Cricket.
Yes, sir.
So you had tickets yesterday for the Roadrunners and the Ice Hogs. We laughed about that.
Yes.
And you got something else today. What you got today?
We do. We got a sweet deal for you.
We like sweet deals.
This might be perfect for like a date night or maybe even like a birthday party. Our sweet deal on Friday from Main Event, located at Irvington and I-19. Main Event is brought to us by the same people that created or run Dave & Buster's. So just to give you a feel, you can get an all-access pass on Friday for just $26, originally $52, and that will include unlimited bowling, laser tag, billiards, and shuffleboard, bowling shoe rental included, and a $20 fun card for the arcade. From Main Event, sweet deal Friday morning at 8:30, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Okay, now I don't know that I've been to Main Event.
I have not.
That's not what's the one up at the Park Place Mall? That's not called Main Event. Is it the one that has the bowling pin on top and has the bowling alley in it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I forget what that one's called. But yeah, I've not been to Main Event, but it's very similar to Dave & Buster's.
Correct.
Okay, so lots of games that we can play with the kids, and they give you, and then you have a handful of tickets, and you got to just go to the store and decide what you want to buy with all those tickets.
Like pick all the all the fun stuff.
All right, what do you like to buy with all of your tickets? Are you like a stuffed animal person? Do you?
Well, I'd probably be
like to get I think they have candy. Like you can get candy and stuff. I think in some of those gift ticket stores now.
Yeah. The candy's always good.
Spent time as a kid, Cricket and I.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with golf and stuff.
Before it was golf and stuff, it was golf and things.
Yes.
And that was when we were kids.
Yes.
And yeah, that's where you got your
seriously, it was
skee ball
golf and
tickets.
things?
Yes.
Yes,
Golf
it
and
originally
Things?
was called Golf and Things, and then they rebranded it to Golf and Stuff.
And then they got so many extra things that it became golf and stuff.
Too many things. They had to be stuff.
Yeah, golf and stuff. You can't get enough.
That was back when the swap meet was right next door to that, too.
Yep, true.
Oh, the one that they moved down to Palo Verde?
Yeah, it used to be the Tanqueverdy swap meet.
Tanqueverdy swap meet.
Oh, wow. Okay. I haven't been to a swap meet in a long time. We used to go to those in Los Angeles all the time back in the day. Get like cheap shoes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The answer to your question is as much candy as you could carry, generally, is what you would buy with your skee ball tickets.
Ah, there you go. All right, so this is a pass. Normally $52. You can get it for half off at $26 on our website, Wildcats Radio 1290, this coming Friday. Main event. I'm going to have to go check that out. Right now, though, Cricket's got you checked out on the streets. What a day. What a day. I'm sure it's so nice out there. I'll tell you about it. I was cruising through campus. All I'll say is that this is the time to bring recruits to campus for any sport.
Yes. It's nice weather, man. And from the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Kolb and Speedway, crash reported Speedway and Kolb Road. Some slowing on the eastbound I-10 frontage road approaching Star Pass. Busy traffic on Grant at I-10, also westbound Speedway Boulevard at Main Avenue. Overnight lows at 53. Perfect tomorrow, sunny and 84, and perfect now at 85. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Ready for the special season that's not on any calendar? It's free phone season. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless this tax season and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
TFCU Gives supports local organizations who help those in need. We take pride in giving back and believe that we are stronger when we all pitch in to help one another. For over 50 years, The Haven has provided women with a safe, inclusive place for recovery with respect, without shame or judgment. TFCU invites you to join us in partnering with The Haven for the health and respect of all women throughout our community. Visit thehaventucson.org to learn more.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
It's not just a donation.
It's a warm blanket.
It's a bottle of clean water.
It's a roof and a bed.
It's knowing someone cares.
It's feeling safe.
It's a today that's better than yesterday.
Every dollar you can spare helps so much more than you can imagine. Donate now to help people affected by the 2025 California wildfires. Your support is urgently needed.
Go to redcross.org to help.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn ever since I turned 40. I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text RULE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text RULE to 42424. That's RULE to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I'm Patrick Claybon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The Dallas Cowboys enter the 2025 NFL Draft with 10 picks, including the 12th overall selection. Speaking at the NFL Scouting Combine on Monday, Cowboys CEO and co-owner Stephen Jones emphasized the team's intent to add a quarterback in the upcoming draft. Both Trey Lance and Cooper Rush are set to hit free agency on March 12th. The 2025 NFL Scouting Combine officially kicks off Thursday in Indianapolis, but top edge rusher Abdul Carter will not participate in on-field drills as he recovers from a shoulder injury, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Carter currently holds the #1 overall prospect ranking on NFL Network's Daniel Jeremiah's Top 50 2.0 list. Meanwhile, Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty will also skip workouts, but will take part in medical evaluations. Jeanty is the top-ranked running back on NFL Network's Bucky Brooks' top 5 prospect lists. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Hi, it's me, your USPS Ground Advantage shipment. Just left the warehouse and hitting the road.
I know. Just got the notification.
Great. Smooth sailing so far. I'm almost there.
Yes, I know. I get all the updates.
Made it. Safe and sound.
I know.
Well, did you know I was with USPS the whole time?
Oh, yeah. I know.
Keep your business in the know with the USPS Ground Advantage service. Visit USPS.com/in-the-know.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
It's 4 a.m. and you're sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. If you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Tommy Lloyd met the media today, addressed a number of topics. A little odd that we talked to Tommy on a Tuesday. It's earliest we've talked to him in a conference week in a long time, but the Wildcats have a day later game. They're in that Wednesday slot this week, and then they'll play again on Saturday on the road. So they'll be traveling Friday, and they might actually leave, who knows, Thursday. I don't know what the travel schedule is. But so today was the Tommy day. Here's what the head coach had to say about a number of things, including his team's loss to BYU, the Zona Zoo incident, and a whole lot more.
After the last game, you were hoping for a certain type of response from the players on Monday. Did you get what you were looking for?
Well, I'm going to judge the results on the performance Wednesday. You know what I mean? Yeah, we had a good day yesterday, and there's no hanging your head, and it's everything's moving forward, and and continuing to build, and if there's things we feel like we need to fix, addressing those, and keep it moving.
Are there certain things though that you were wanting to see when you say that?
First off, we'll start here. Yeah, was it a bad call? I stick by my guns like that. By that, I mean other people may not think it was. Did I love the way our defense played? No, but it was a great college basketball game. I mean, you had two teams going at it. I mean, there was some high-level offense on both sides. It goes down to the final possession. I mean, what an awesome game. And listen, I've competed against BYU for years, and I really enjoy doing that. My biggest disappointment was the way our fans and students, reacted to some of their players coming off the court. There's no place in society, let's just start with that overall, but especially in collegiate athletics, where anyone's religion or race should become a focal point, ever. So that was my biggest disappointment. And I know maybe BYU's probably, it's not the first time it's happened to them. And it's disappointing that it continues to happen. And hopefully, with us, being full-time members in a conference with them, that our fans will learn that that's just not acceptable. I mean, and so to me, that was the overriding disappointment more than just the result of the game. Was that. So hopefully it's an opportunity to be better and do better, and we all take it as that.
Where do you stand?
Or have you had any conversations with Desiree or Zona Zoo people or anything?
I mean, I haven't. I mean, Desiree's handling that. I mean, obviously I'm sticking to the basketball side of things. Her and I communicated a little bit the following day on it, and she's on it. She's on that stuff, and so I think it's been, I know it's been dealt with, in a number of ways, and but it still doesn't erase that it happened. So, let's learn from it and move forward. And every person in this face of this earth deserves respect. And obviously that was not a sign of respect, what happened at the end of that game.
Tommy, I know there's coaches like Rick Pitino who have come out and said, we're not doing the handshake line anymore. Do you have an opinion either way on that?
I don't mind the handshake line because I think it's a great opportunity to show class. You know what? And I'm not afraid to show class, and even in tough moments. Now listen, I'm sure some of our players didn't respond. I heard there was a little bit of an incident. I was off the floor by then. And could you avoid those things? But just eliminating something, does that make us a better society? Why can't you go shake hands with someone who just whatever, either they kicked your ass, you kicked their ass, or, they're on the fortunate side, you're on the unfortunate side. How hard is that to do? So to me, they can, I understand why people want to do it. You want to avoid these one-off situations, but I also think it's a great opportunity to show class, to show compassion, to show respect. So I'm always going to err on that side.
Ever been in a position where you're playing a team immediately after they made a change at head coach?
I mean, man, you got to have me prepared for these questions, Nate. Like I don't know. I mean, maybe it happened a few times, but yeah, it's tough. I mean, I feel for them, and I feel for the players. I feel for the coach. I feel for his family. I'm not an administrator. I don't know why it makes sense to make a move in season. I mean, to me, this is like, what is that saying to the kids? What is that saying to your fan base? What is that saying to, to the coaching staff? But again, people make decisions for whatever reason, and I don't need to be like wasting my energy speculating on why or whatever they're doing. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to approach it as business as usual, and we're going to tend to the business of Arizona basketball, and Utah's our next opponent, and they're going to be our next opponent no matter who the coach is.
That said, do you feel like if you're going to fire a coach, do you maybe fire him before a big game at a place like Arizona, where maybe
I don't know how that makes sense to me. I mean, listen, whatever, you can rationalize that however you want. Craig Smith's a good man. I know that. And he's a good coach. Maybe it hasn't went exactly how they all had hoped. But again, I don't know the ins and outs. And I'm not going to guess to know the ins and outs. So we're it's business as usual for us, but it's there's another side where it's unfortunate for some others. And
I'm sorry. How does that affect scouting this game? Do you just go with what they've been doing, or do you even look at maybe West Virginia tapes to see what
I don't think they've had a lot of time to react. I mean, I'm assuming it just happened yesterday. I'm assuming they might have taken the day off coming back from Central Florida. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they practiced. Maybe they've put in, an entire new offense and entire new defense in 24 hours. And if they did, good for them. I mean, So it's business as usual for us, and we're preparing like we normally would have prepared, had this unfortunate thing not happen.
After the BYU game, if it was really good offense from BYU or bad defense, watching the film?
Man, listen. First off, I'm going to give credit and respect to my opponent. I mean, they made some great shots. They made some timely shots. I mean, their players have gotten better over the course of the season. They called some good plays, and at the end of the good play, they made the basket. I mean, that's big time stuff. When you go back, I mean, are there some things defensively we wished, we saw, mistakes here and there? For sure. I mean, there's always a give and take, but, you don't want to, I don't want to tilt it one way and said, our mistakes on defense led to their success on offense. I mean, basketball's there's a game of give and take, and, so I'm going to give credit to BYU, and obviously, defensively, we're going to continue to work to be better and hopefully grow from some of those mistakes that we made.
They shoot the ball off the three ball so quickly off the screen. How did you feel like your team defends that?
Well, I mean, listen, those are hard shots. Those are really hard shots. If you probably look at, percentages of things, if we're getting into analytics, and I know you guys love your analytics, threes on the move are hard shots, and to make those the way they did, and as many of them, it's impressive. I don't know. Maybe the next game they just roll out. I don't know. I mean, that's what's hard about those. But there were also a lot of easy shots. That their offense created for themselves, and whether that's from a defensive mistake or not, there was a lot of easy shots that you go back, and those are the ones that you gotta focus on. Those are your more controllables.
You opened the analytics door here, so I'm gonna walk through it.
But I can close it. It's at my discretion.
Yeah, there was a list that just came out that had the top performing two-man duos in college based on a bunch of factors. And for you guys, it's Henry and Deli. Does that surprise you that putting them together would be the most effective?
I don't know. My mind is blown. I don't know. I'd have to look at the whole list. I'd have to see what factors they're considering. I mean, to just answer a one-off question without any of the data, I mean, analytically would not be appropriate.
Just in general, the play you got from that one stretch from Deli where he was hunting the shots, how do you get him to do that more?
I mean, I'm going to tell Deli, can you make 3 catch-and-shoot threes in 3 minutes, more consistently? I mean, of course we want that. But listen, I'm joking. Deli's doing a great job. He's trending in the right direction. I think he's kind of figuring out what he needs to do for our team and what he needs to do at this level to be successful. And hopefully we continue to get more of that because he's an important player for us.
Beaten some good teams this season, even though they've had some struggles as well. What's the common theme there?
Well, Utah's a good team. They have incredible size and length. I think I don't know if would this be analytically or this be statistically or measurement wise, they're the third longest, tallest team in the country. So they have obviously great size and they have positional length. They're sound defensively. They're not doing anything crazy. They're really kind of packing it in and making you play over size and length consistently. Offensively, this Madsen kid's been around for a minute, and he just is an incredible high energy player, and can shoot high degree of difficulty shots and get hot and make some of them. And so he's hard to guard, and they do a good job playing in their concepts, kind of what we would call kind of some delay actions, and where they're kind of getting some 5-out and some flare screens, pin downs, and just do a really good job kind of flowing and playing good basketball. So they're obviously a dangerous team, and their records, I think pretty close to 500 in the Big 12, right? So they're right in the mix.
Tommy, number one, I think, an assist to made field goal. Is that what is behind that, and do they have run some similar philosophies than you guys do?
I don't know. How many similarities? There probably you could probably find a few. When you're assisting on a high number of your baskets, it probably means you're a good passing team and you're moving the ball, and and you're probably generating offense. The way you generate offense is probably more tilted towards ball movement and passing as opposed to dribbling and isolations.
Tommy, we all rave, you included, about KJ Lewis's defense. Where do you, though, want to see him take that next step?
I think KJ's fine. I think KJ just got to stay locked in, and I like the way he's contributing. And, sometimes there doesn't need to be a next step. Sometimes you just need to kind of hone in and stay consistently where you're at. We're obviously well into the season. I'm not going to, expect or ask KJ to make drastic changes to his game at this point because he's really helping us. So, I just want to continue to see him do what he's doing and continue to see his confidence grow in those big moments. And then just at the end of the day, really trust in his habits. Trust his habits at the most important moments. And I think he's done that a lot over the course of this year, and I just want to see him continue to grow in that area.
Would you have liked him to be a little bit closer on that Moet Mag 3 in the corner?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I would have loved him to block the shot, and it didn't even get attempted. But, there's reasons it happens. That stuff happens. And, it could have been a mental error on his side. It could have been a positional error. It could have been maybe one of his teammates, switched a ball screen, didn't switch it correctly, and there's a roller going down the middle of the lane that KJ's got great instincts on defense, and he sees a guy run into the basket, he's probably going to want to help. I mean, there's lots of reasons these things happen, and it might not be KJ.
Is it easy to turn the page on a game like BYU?
Yeah. This is what we do. We got Utah coming in here, and no one's hanging their head. We didn't hang our heads yesterday in practice. We understand it's tough. I think there was a lot of positives to build on from the BYU game, and I think the best thing you can do is, figure out maybe a few of the areas you want to improve in, and maybe a few of the areas you want to continue to strengthen, and move on to the next one. I mean, I don't know. Does it help you living in the past?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That's a world I don't lurk or know understand, and I don't want to go there. I mean, the moment I probably went in there, I'd probably want to get the hell out. So no, I don't know anything about living in the past.
Have you ever employed like a hack-a-player strategy where somebody really struggles at the line and you put them there a lot?
I mean, for sure, we've done it over the time. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a normal thing. But I mean, you obviously sometimes you look at free throw percentages and you make your decisions, but fouls are valuable in college, because you're usually not playing 12 or 13 guys, and guys only get 5. So I think you have to factor that in as well.
The play at the end, Tommy, basically the same play, the inbound to try to get the last shot that you would use before.
Execute better. Yeah, execute better. Probably, bad coaching and bad execution by the players, and execute better.
I mean, and obviously that's happened multiple times. Does it get to a point where you say that they're not understanding what I want from this play? I've got to maybe move on to something
Coach
else.
better, execute better.
Talking about earlier, everyone's dissected that so much, it seems like. Did you ever get I was just curious, did you get an explanation? Was it ruled that way because of a hip, or because he put his knee sort of to the left, or,
I mean, I'm not going to share my discussion with the officials because I do have a lot of respect for the officials, and they are trying hard. I'll just, I'm going to stand by what I said is, I just, in a physical game, in a physical conference, I just, over the course of my entire life watching a lot of basketball games, you just don't see a lot of games end like that. And so I thought Trey played really good defense. I thought the guy stopped. I thought the guy turned his back. I thought the guy started pivoting and had no outlets to pass the ball to. And kind of a, desperate moment, kind of threw up a little scoop shot. And, and there was obviously some contact on the lower body. And the ref made a decision. So you know what I'm doing? I'm living with it, and I'm moving on. And do I like it? No. But, I also learned this. You don't always get what you like in life. So as a competitor, I just got to move on. And I talked to who I needed to talk to, and they talked to me. Conversation was had, and, I think we're good.
League office, or did you have any conversation with anybody like that? Or
I'm not going to tell you specifically who I talked with, but I did talk to people, for sure, that are affiliated with our league, 100%.
Houston looks like they clinched a tie at least. Yeah. What did you make of that, and does that change anything?
I mean, no, not at all. I mean, obviously they were trending to do that, and Houston's having an incredible season, and Coach Sampson does a great job, and it's been really impressive, what he's been able to build there, and and obviously, we feel like we're not far off at Arizona, but we're not acting like we've arrived either. We know we got work to do, and feel like the trend is going in the right direction. With how we're building this thing.
Do you have much recollection of Coach Sampson at Washington State, or were you maybe too young?
Very little. I mean, he had left, I think before I even got started at Gonzaga, and I was living in a small logging town, playing Little League baseball, when he was coaching at Wazoo. So I don't have a lot of memories.
Yeah, I was wondering, were you at Whitman maybe, and did you remember hearing about Washington?
Give me a Wikipedia. Give me the dates. I'll tell you where I was at. Because I don't remember exactly what years he was at Washington State. Because he's so I don't know. I mean, but like obviously, did I know about Coach Sampson from being? Yeah, for sure. I mean, come on, 100%. I mean, he's crushing it right now, and good for him.
All right, that's the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats. Today's weekly press conference, Tommy Lloyd. Interesting stuff there. We can dive into some of what he had to say. 520-848-1290. Get a traffic in here and a whole lot more. DK on the sports tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Colvin Speedway and Colv Road with a crash reported. Also some slowing on eastbound I-10 approaching the Ajo-Kino connection. Backups at Mission and Ajo westbound and southbound. More slowing southbound La Cholla at Ajo Way. Overnight low near 53, sunny 84 tomorrow and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by True Green. We're back in the miller's yard who now use True Green. Their lawn started looking like a golf course, and PGA Tour golfers made it their favorite stuff.
Get a PGA Tour quality lawn for as little as $1 a day at TrueGreen.com. Exclusions apply. See TrueGreen.com for details.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
Oh, looky here. My man, Bodie. Bubba, what's up?
What's up, Bubba? I love the new time slot. I decided to put some interest into becoming a Texans fan.
Bodie in Pearland.
That I decided to put some interest into becoming a Texans
Bodie?
fan.
You decided to put some
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at 1 on Wildcats Radio 1290.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample Rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
This is Zach Gelb with Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Mel Kiper in his latest mock draft has Shedeur Sanders falling all the way to the Jet, the 7th pick. And I don't see how that happens. Yes, I think Cam Ward will be the first QB off the board, and even if he goes first overall, I then have a tough time seeing the Browns, Giants, and Raiders all passing up on the Colorado QB. And in all likelihood, Ward will go to Tennessee, Abdul Carter will land in Cleveland, and then Shedeur will be selected by the Giants with the 3rd pick. I'm Zach Gelb.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona women's basketball coming up tonight at McHale Center. If you're headed down to the game, give us a call. 520-848-1290. Senior night. We'll get into who's being honored coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Great to hear from the head coach of your Arizona men's basketball team, Tommy Lloyd. You got to kick J-Dub out of when he was talking about Delhi. Yes.
He's like, sure, I'll just tell Delhi to hit 3 threes in 3 minutes
because
every game.
You sent me that information this morning on.
I saw that. They're actually the duo Vesar and Delhi were ranked 3rd, and it's an efficiency compares defense offensive efficiencies. My guess, DK, there's a minimum I think of. I didn't see the actual minute total. It's in that graphic. There's a minute total, so you can't be talking about the 8th and 9th guys off the bench,
right?
Who only get in when it's a blowout. But yeah, I mean, again, just like plus minus, I'm sure that stat of the duo has a lot to do with the other 3 guys who are on the court with them at the same time, right?
And so they were number 3 on that list. 1 and 2. I'm trying to find it here real quick.
Well, like, look at the Houston duo. It's not guys you would expect either, right? Like, that's the one that jumped out at me. Is like some of these teams that are on that list as far as efficiency, duo efficiency in NCAA men's basketball this season. Some of the teams that Arizona's seen this year, like the Duke duo, is not Cooper Flagg. He's not involved. So it's one of those deals where a lot of the names on that list from teams that we know are not names of players you would expect.
Terrence Arsenault and Joseph Tugler. We heard Tugler. He just keeps dunking.
Yeah.
That's all that guy does is stand with the basket, get the ball, and dunk it. They were number 2. And then Victor Lakin and Dylan Hunter from Clemson were number 1 on this list. Milan Mislovic. I knew I was going to pronounce that guy's name, from Iowa State, and Nate Hesse are on the list as well from the Big 12.
But Anthony Del Orso and Henry Vesar are number 1 in our hearts, right?
They are number 1 in our hearts. All right. It is time now, the moment you've all been waiting for. I know you've been waiting with bated breath. It is none other than the BetQL Network top play of the day. And I want you to go. Well, let's first go back to last night's game because I want to before we go to this week's play. Let's go back to what happened last night for our play last night.
Around the back and into Mogay for the jam. Timeout. And Eric Spoelstra is some kind of hot at his team. Trey lobs it. There you go. That's the magic between Trey and Clint Capella.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, the difficulty of that pass, man. Who couldn't have made this pass?
Big night for Trey Young last night for the Hawks in their win over our guys, Keyshawn Johnson and company. 98-86 was the final. The Hawks get the win over the Heat. The play we had was, we actually had two plays. One was to take Trey Young plus 10 or over 10 assists. That was under at minus 250. Or we could take him at over 12 assists at plus 115. Dragon Ball and suggested that we go, and you'd said, J.W. had said the average was 11. He's been averaging 11.
He's leading the NBA in assists. 10.5, I think. 11.5 is what his average is.
So we went with the plus 10, and he finished with 14 assists last night. 11 points and 14 assists for Trey Young in that ball game. So we only won $5.16 on that. If we taken at the plus 12 or over 12, we'd have walked out with another $9.50. But we'll take the $5.16 because we've been losing a little bit on some of these bets. But yeah, nice ball game for Trey Young as they won again. They're still 4 games under 500. Both those teams are 4 games under 500. No play for Pelle Larsson last night. He did not play. And
the last time he played was the 13th of February. He played 10 minutes, and he had 4 fouls.
Oh, wow.
So he hasn't suited up since then.
Yeah, and is Keyshawn still up, or is he back down?
I don't know. I've seen him his name in and out. He's not in the box score from last night as a DNP, so I don't know what his status is currently. I'll look it up.
All right. So far this season, Pelle Larsson averaging 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist, shooting 45% from the field in his rookie season for the Miami Heat. So that's what happened last night. Let's now give you your play of the day for today.
Let's talk college hoops. Chris Mack here to help you beat the books with the BetMGM Network. You know, Duke's been rolling since that blip on the road at Clemson earlier this month. On the road again tonight, 22.5-point favorites against the reeling Miami Hurricanes. They've won their previous 4 matchups by an average of 29.5, so let's back them to cover against the Canes again. I'm Chris Mack from the BetMGM Network. Bet smarter, beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly.
February means Valentine's Day, but we're always spreading the love at Oral Ford. Hi, it's Alex Medina. What's not to love about paying 2% lower taxes only at Oral Ford? Then there's 0 dealer add-ons at Oral Ford. Love that. And everyone loves this. I'll beat any price on a new Ford. So look, we don't use the same old rule book at Oral Ford. We sell cars from the heart. That's how we always do business. Take the easy drive from anywhere in Tucson to Oral Ford. You're going to love it. Drive a little, save a lot.
All right, so Duke, number 2 in the country, is the play tonight. This line has actually gone up from what you heard the BetMGM Network say. People say it's now at minus 23.5. 23.5 for the Duke Blue Devils over the Miami Hurricanes tonight. Miami is 2-14. Obviously, they are looking for a new head coach, and their new head coach actually might be sitting on the other bench tonight because there's rumors that they're going after one of the Duke assistant coaches who seems to be at the top of the list there. So that'll be
save on roaming charges, right?
Exactly. The other game that we had, so if you win, minus 23.5 tonight to win $11.61. We did win on college basketball last night, a mid-major game, McNeese State minus 14.5 over Texas Rio Grande Valley, and we got, what did we get on that one? $11.87. But we're still in the hole. How much? $45.52 at the moment. Jai Lucas is the assistant coach for the Duke Blue Devils, who is rumored to be the top candidate for the head coaching job at Miami. Jai is the son of legendary NBA head coach and assistant coach John Lucas.
Yeah, I remember him at Texas. He played point guard.
Yeah, he's a pretty solid recruiter. He's been at Texas as an assistant. He was with John Calipari at Kentucky as an assistant, and I believe this is just his second year at Duke. But he's largely the one that they talk about having closed the Boozer brothers and this most recent recruiting class.
Coach's sons, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he is the guy on the top of the list for the Miami Hurricanes because Jim Larrangay stepped down in the fall or early winter.
The irony here is he did start his college career at Florida.
Yeah.
Before transferring to Texas.
There you go. We've also got a number of future plays that we can give you real quick here. How about the Blue Jays this year? They are not expected to be very good. So BetMGM Network is saying take the under on the 79.5 wins for the Toronto Blue Jays this season. That's Ryan Horvat suggesting take the under on the Blue Jays this season. All right. Dodgers to win the World Series right now is at plus 265. So that's pretty good. You still got winning money there if you take the Dodgers to repeat as the champions.
What's the record for season ERA for a team? That's my question.
Team ERA?
I mean, didn't the Dodgers pick up like 3 aces this offseason?
Something like that.
And they're adding Shohei's arm. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be hard to hit against. We know a lot of the names of their bats, but, yeah, it's going to be a tough team to hit against this year.
Well, it appears the lowest, not necessarily in modern times, was the 1907 Chicago Cubs, who had a 1.73 earned run average as a team. Since, let's see.
That's when they were throwing off like flat ground, right?
Right, exactly. Since 1947, it appears to be the Chicago White Sox in 1967.
I would have thought those like Glavine, Maddox, Braves teams would have been up there.
Let's see.
Because they had like
where
4 aces on the
yeah,
roster.
They did. I'm not seeing any teams.
Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox, right?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any teams from like the
Anyway,
1980s.
my point is the Dodgers are going to have a lot of good starting pitching. That's what I'm saying.
Yep, they are. They are indeed going to have that. Yeah. White Sox in 67. The Bob Gibson Cardinals of 1968 had a 2.49 ERA. The Jim Palmer Orioles of 1972 had a 2.53 ERA.
How about after Pine Tar was allowed to be on a pitcher's glove while they're pitching?
Vita Blue A's of 1972. The latest team after that, I'm seeing 1981.
Yeah, when does
2022, the 2022 Dodgers.
When did the live ball era start?
Yeah.
Because anything after that, I don't think doesn't
So the
count.
2022 Dodgers are the only team have the lowest ERA of this century, 2.80. There you go. I'm trying to remember who pitched on that team. That would have been obviously Kershaw and a bunch of those other guys were on that team. All right, that's going to wrap up hour number 2 of the show. Coming up more in hour number 3, we'll talk Arizona women's basketball. We'll let you hear more from Andre Iguodala's ceremony. He was honored, had his jersey retired, his number 9 for the Golden State Warriors. We'll let you hear some more of that. And it was a good day for the Diamondbacks because Jordan Montgomery pitched off a mound. We'll let you hear from Jordan Montgomery as well. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Auto Nation, Honda, and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported at Irvington and Campbell, Campbell and Irvington, La Cañada and Lambert, Lambert Lane and La Cañada. Really heavy backups on southbound La Cholla, backed up from Ajo Way all the way back to Star Pass Boulevard, and some slowing on eastbound I-10 approaching the Ajo-Kino connection. Overnight lows near 53, sunny, 84 tomorrow, and 84 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops, receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Don't miss out on any of the action as the University of Arizona takes on the Big 12 Conference.
Bradley for three. Jaden Bradley has come alive in the second half.
You're listening to the flagship home of Arizona Wildcats athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Struggling with $5,000 or more in tax debt? The IRS isn't waiting. Why should you? The IRS can take your car, your paycheck, even your retirement savings. Now is the time to tackle your tax debt, but you don't have to do it alone. Meet Priority Tax Relief, veteran-owned, and the experts in tax debt resolution. Our priority is fighting for you. Our team has helped clients save millions and can reduce or even erase your tax debt. Call 800-476-8359 right now for your free consultation. Priority Tax Relief has a direct line to the IRS. That's right, a fast track to find out if you qualify for life-changing tax relief in just minutes. Priority Tax Relief fights to protect your money, has 5-star reviews on Google, and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Why wait? Take back control now from the IRS. Call Priority Tax Relief for your free tax consultation. Call 800-476-8359. That's 800-476-8359. Priority Tax Relief, where your tax debt is our priority. Call 800-476-8359.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Utah has fired head coach Craig Smith ahead of the Utes game in Tucson Wednesday against U of A. Will it spark the club? Find out. Our coverage begins at 3:30 with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station, your home for the National Football League, starting with the Hall of Fame game through the regular season into the playoffs and ending in the Super Bowl. Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 3, JW, remember what happened 2 years ago today?
I don't. Tell me.
No?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Well, this. Let me see if I can get this to work here. I'm technically challenged. Let's try it again. No.
That's my favorite memory ever. I love that one.
Let's try it one more time here. I won't play. I'm in the right thing here, but it's not playing for me. All right. Well, we'll come back to that later. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona women's basketball, again, playing tonight at McHale Center. 6 o'clock is tip-off. Coverage beginning in about 40 minutes over on KTUC. Freedom 1400. Derek Palmer will have the call. Final home game of the season for the ladies. So last chance to see them. They obviously will not be in a position to host the first round of the NCAA tournament. Does not mean that they won't go to it. That is still left to be decided, and they've got some wins to get before they get to that point, but none of those games will be here in Tucson. So last chance to see Dia Barnes and company tonight against a Texas Tech team that enters the contest with 8 straight losses, 8 in a row. Isis Bay will be celebrated tonight. Fifth-year senior decided to come back this year after she wasn't sure last year. She wanted to play another year, but she decided to come back and is playing the best basketball she's ever played, playing over 30 minutes in conference for the first time in her career, averaging 30 minutes, 10 points, shooting over 50% from the field and three-point range in conference, and also averaging over 2 assists per ball game in conference. So great to see that she is playing solid basketball, is Isis Bay, and she'll be one of the seniors honored at tonight's ball game. So head on out there and make sure I think there's only one other senior, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the list here. But yeah, 2 seniors, and I'll get you the other one coming up here a little bit later. So tonight and then Saturday against ASU will be the final 2 games of the regular season.
It goes by so fast.
Yes, it does. It does. All right, good news out of Salt River today. Jordan Montgomery was seen pitching on a mound for your Arizona Diamondbacks. He had not thrown any bullpens to this point. I mean, we're about maybe 2 weeks. I think pitchers and catchers reported a little under 2 weeks ago. Because of an issue in his finger, let's let you hear him tell the story of what is going on or what has been going on with his finger. Now, this was before, this was when the team first reported. So the sound you're going to hear is about 2 weeks old, but it's still relevant to the situation and to where Jordan Montgomery wants to be for this team coming into his first full season. Well, really second full season because he got here right at the beginning of last year.
Before we play this clip, can I do one thing really quick?
Sure.
Diamondback download.
Baseball talk. There you go. Oh, we just create our own stuff here. I love it. All right, let's hear from Jordan Montgomery.
My last bullpen, I had a little thing, so we're just no throwing right now to get ahead of it. But other than that, body feels great. Probably a couple more days, no throw. Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. I don't think anyone's really worried about it. Just beginning of spring, might as well take care of it.
Did you go get any tests or anything on it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we just got it all looked at. Doctor looked at it. He didn't seem too worried, so.
What was it?
Finger strain.
Your
index, yeah, of course, my last bullpen at home.
How do you feel like your bullpens were going before that?
Really good. Yeah, I'm in a good spot.
So nothing special that you were working on, just kind of going through the regular preparation that you go through?
Just getting back to being able to execute pitches with the right shapes. Sinker should be dropping and be able to get it to the bottom of the zone instead of throwing it through the top or having more run than it has sink, which really all just comes from getting out front. So just getting out front and being smooth.
From a mental standpoint, how difficult was last year? Just going to the bullpen, dealing with the injury, just everything. I mean, how did you kind of get past it mentally?
Yeah, I mean, last year was really kind of the first time I've struggled in a long time. So baseball's a hard game, and it's bound to get you, and just kind of had to deal with it and battle. But I'm a competitor, I'm a battler, so got home, and I'm ready.
Sorry, I came up late. Did you?
There's always one guy coming up late asking the same question that just got asked.
It didn't seem like he was trying to throw you under the bus necessarily as much as defend his GM. That's the way I read it.
Yeah.
But still, it was kind of harsh. How did you kind of take those comments?
It's whatever. I told them I've got 2 older brothers, so it's not going to hurt my feelings. I know my season wasn't great, and I expect a lot of myself also.
It's kind of maybe put you in a situation where you have to, compete for a rotation spot at this point a little bit.
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. So you don't view being in the competition, you feel like your rotation spot is secure?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for. They're paying me a lot of money.
Dang right, they're paying you a lot of money. That is for sure. All right, so Jordan Montgomery did throw off a mound today. I have not seen any updates on after the game today. I imagine Torey Lovello might address how that went, but I have not seen anything to this point. But we will keep you up to date on how that went for Jordan Montgomery making his first, did not play in the game. He just threw off the mound, side session, bullpen on the backfields while the team played and lost at Mesa in Sloan Park to the Chicago Cubs today by a score of 4-2. I think they only played one game. No split squad today, just the one game. So there you go. 1-4 are the Diamondbacks so far in spring training. The Cubs are 6-0. Look out. Go Cubs, go. Maybe it's another World Series team. I don't know. I don't think they're supposed to be very good either.
Is there a correlation between spring training success and...
Never.
No. Yeah.
Never. No. Because all those years the Indians looked really good in spring, they would get to the season and stink. So, yeah, there is no correlation whatsoever between those two things. All right, Arizona baseball playing today. They are on a road trip. The Wildcats are back down in Texas again for the week. They played a side game or a midweek game today, and then they're going to be in another tournament coming up later in the week down in Texas. The first tournament, you'll remember, did not go well as they lost all 3 games, and then they came back home and beat New Mexico and swept San Diego. They will be playing tonight against Rice. That game is about to get underway over at Rice University. So they'll play Rice tonight, and then they'll play at the Astros Foundation College Classic. We'll have to get with our guy Francisco Romero and see if he's involved at all with that tournament down there. It's going to be down in Houston. So this is the lineup that the Chip Hale Company has got to face this weekend. They are going to face 3 SEC teams at this tournament. All right, so they've already faced one SEC team this season, Ole Miss, to open the year and lost. But this weekend they get number 1 Texas A&M, number 18 Mississippi State, and number 3 Tennessee. Oh ho hum Just another easy weekend in Texas.
Hey, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ole Miss is currently 24th, by the way. So
Okay.
all ranked SEC teams.
There you go. There you go. And I think the Wildcats dropped out of the rankings, if I'm not mistaken.
I do not see them in the current rankings
They
now.
started the year 21, but have dropped out. Now, we did get some new rankings today. And so tennis, we mentioned, knocked off San Diego over the weekend. They are now a top 10 team as they come in at number 9 on the men's side. They beat number 7 San Diego over the weekend. So Arizona men's tennis
Can
is
you say
ranked.
the San Diego mascot one more time?
Toreros?
There it is, yeah.
Toreros, yep. And the women's softball team is now a top 10 team as well. The ladies are in at number 10 overall after their stellar play to start the year with 3 straight tournaments at home. And congratulations to Devin Netz. She is the Big 12 Pitcher of the Week this week. She had 2 wins in the circle and hit a pair of home runs for the Wildcats at the Hillenbrand Invitational over the weekend. So Devin Netz, Pitcher of the Week.
They are currently 6th nationally in batting average.
Yeah, what are they in home runs, though?
Let me look it up.
Yeah,
let me look it up.
I mean, they hit a ton. I think they hit 5 home runs on Sunday in the win over Stanford. 4th in home runs?
Yeah, they have 29 through 17 games. Nebraska has 36 through 16 games.
Wow. Nebraska. Wow.
Nebraska, Florida, Stanford, Arizona.
Okay.
Some good names in there.
There you go.
Yeah, Nebraska, I mean, it might not be, you think of the UCLA, Arizona, obviously Oklahoma State, Oklahoma more recently, but Nebraska is the one that, don't they get like 90,000 fans out to come watch their volleyball and softball?
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of support there for the women's sports for sure. So, yeah, 36 home runs in 16 games is what the Cornhusker ladies have done.
All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We'll give you some more of the ceremony involving Andre Iguodala, Arizona basketball alum, who was honored, had his jersey, number 9, retired by the Golden State Warriors. More of that coming up next, as well as we told you about Trae Young's 14 assists last night, but that was not the top dime game in the league, in the association last night. There was somebody that got a few more than that 14.
Somebody known for their passing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that as well. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Auto Nation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Westbound I-10 near Prince Road, collision off on the side of the road. Some light freeway slowing on the westbound side of I-10 approaching Prince Road. Earlier collision at Irvington and Campbell. Still backups on southbound La Cholla approaching Ajo Way. 53, the overnight low, sunny, 84 tomorrow, and 83 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. If you feel like owning a home is out of reach, Rocket is here to give you back the keys because they believe everyone deserves a shot at the American dream. Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET. Again, that's rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
The jungle has moved to afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Tucson, it's time for the Color Guard Classic by Exact Sciences, March 7th through the 9th at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. See some of golf's greatest players compete for the coveted Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. It's PGA Tour Champions Golf at its finest. Let's kick it! And Friday night, see the I Love the 90s Tour featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, and Tone Loc live in concert at Rillito Park. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences benefiting colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Tickets and more at cologuardclassic.com.
What if your business could see beyond what is and into what can be? What if you could create more impact in every decision? What if you had a partner as visionary as you are? With Bank of America, you get access to our trusted experts, real-time insights, and digital tools. So whether you run a local shop or a global enterprise, you're backed by business solutions to make every move matter. What would you like the power to do? Find out how at bankofamerica.com/banking for business. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank sponsor of FIFA World Cup 2026.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Sarah. She loves her motorcycle. What she doesn't love is when it suddenly rains. As she sits underneath the bridge waiting for it to stop, she grows quite fond of the graffiti on the overpass. She really likes the one with John Hart's Claire and wonders if they're still together. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes and see if you can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
What's in a name? With Sweet Deals, everything you want at savings you never dreamt possible. No membership fees, no wait. And with the new Sweet Deals Premium tab, everyday deals on brands you know, names you want, savings you need. Sweet Deals Premium. Designer handbags, luxury cruises, accommodations, golf clubs, gift cards, autographed sports memorabilia. Find it all and save big at sweetdeals.com. Click the Premium tab. Shop, buy, save. Up to 70% off. Sweetdeals.com. Premium.
Hey, not to be dramatic, but you should smell this. It smells so good.
Whoa, that's quite the reaction to mixing and matching Gain scents. Let's hear another from Ashley, who mixed Gain products and went,
I'm so excited.
yes, you are. What about you, Isaiah?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emily summed it up like so.
It is just chef's kiss.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Mix, match, more happy with Gain.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Our beautiful Arizona winter weather brings cooler overnight temperatures, which means some of you are now seeing your vehicle's low pressure warning light. Colder overnight temperatures can lower your tire's pressure just enough to trigger a warning light. But don't worry, many times the solution is simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. Then get back to enjoying the fantastic winter weather. If adding the air doesn't do the trick, stop by any of our 14 area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with the low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Mention this radio offer for free installation with the purchase of any new tire pressure sensor. We'll install it in your wheel and rebalance your tires absolutely free. You'll find even more specials to get your car road trip ready at jackfurriers.com. So call ahead, make an appointment online, or just drop by. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Struggling with $5,000 or more in tax debt? The IRS isn't waiting. Why should you? The IRS can take your car, your paycheck, even your retirement savings. Now is the time to tackle your tax debt, but you don't have to do it alone. Meet Priority Tax Relief, veteran-owned, and the experts in tax debt resolution. Our priority is fighting for you. Our team has helped clients save millions and can reduce or even erase your tax debt. Call 800-476-8359 right now for your free consultation. Priority Tax Relief has a direct line to the IRS. That's right, a fast track to find out if you qualify for life-changing tax relief in just minutes. Priority Tax Relief fights to protect your money, has 5-star reviews on Google, and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Why wait? Take back control now from the IRS. Call Priority Tax Relief for your free tax consultation. Call 800-476-8359. That's 800-476-8359. Priority Tax Relief, where your tax debt is our priority. Call 800-476-8359.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The United States women's national soccer team is looking to win their 6th consecutive She Believes Cup trophy, and they advanced to the final on Sunday with a 2-1 win over Australia. After defeating Colombia 2-0 in the Cup opener, head coach Emma Hayes showcased her squad's depth by swapping out the entire lineup for a new starting 11. It marked just the 6th time in 758 all-time matches and the first in 25 years that the U.S. women's team featured changes to all 11 spots between matches. Hayes' newest group was also the Americans' youngest starting lineup since 2001.
Well, the objectives for the camp was to deepen the playing pool by giving opportunities to less experienced players in high-pressured situations. So I think we've achieved that by playing everybody in our squad in these first 2 games.
The U.S. will face off with Japan tomorrow for the title. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amber Theo Harris on Westwood One.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Senior night tonight at McHale Center for Arizona women's basketball. Asia Yoakum was the other senior that I was trying to remember, 6'4". She's not played at all this year, but she will be honored. A transfer from Florida International along with Isis Bay. We've talked all season about how this is such a young team. What was last week, I believe, they played when they played TCU a week and a half ago.
Seems like we've been talking about that for a few seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
The women's basketball team, they have 3 freshmen. Lauren Swan, Maylene Rolfe, Katarina Nezovic. They've all played extensive minutes this year. They have 6 sophomores. Skylar Jones, Jada Williams, who have all started. Brooklyn Rhodes, who's a walk-on, does not play. Jordan Ross has not played. She's been injured, I think, at times this year. Bray Cunningham, obviously. And Sanaya Jah, who has been in and out of the lineup and on and off the roster for various reasons. Then they've got a redshirt sophomore, Montea Dew, who was out all last season with an injury and, you know, is still finding her way back a year after knee surgery. She'll be better next year than she's been this year. 2 juniors on the roster. Walk-on Aaron Tack from the track team, who came over last year when the Wildcats were really struggling with their personnel, and Paulina Paris, the transfer guard from North Carolina, who's played extensively and had to play all the minutes a couple weeks ago in that TCU game when Jada was not available. And then the redshirt senior, Isis Bay, and the grad senior, Asia Yoakum. That is the roster breakdown for your Arizona women's basketball team this season. Senior night, tip-off coming up 6 o'clock. Coverage at 5:45. Derek Palmer over on Freedom 1400 KTUC. All right. Andre Iguodala inducted into the Ring of Honor or had his number retired. I'm not exactly sure what they call it up there at Golden State, but he was honored on Sunday when the Warriors hosted the Dallas Mavericks. Clay was back. That was another reason they decided to do it then. He talked about those Warriors teams that won 4 NBA titles. And, JW, you brought up an interesting point yesterday about how Charles Barkley had said that he, and I don't know how long ago this was, that he said he never thought a jump shooting team could win the NBA title.
It was before their first title. So prior to their first title, Steve Kerr took over from Mark Jackson. Within a month or two, it was already kind of clicking. Mark Jackson, bugaboo was his offense was not super pretty. Steve Kerr took over. And as the Warriors were having greater and greater success that first and second season, Charles Barkley said that no jump shooting team would ever win a title.
Well, they did, and they won 4. And if I'm not mistaken, 3 of them came against my Cleveland Cavaliers. Thanks a lot. Let's hear from Andre Iguodala on his perspective of those Warriors teams changing the game of NBA basketball.
I have some pretty good arguments, but there's been a few times I've been able to think about some of the things we did. But I think the reason why we had so much success is because when we won the first one, it was almost like we have to do it again to prove that it wasn't a fluke. And then once you win the second one, you're like, all right, we got to do it again because, like, nobody can touch us. And then we got to do it again because we're supposed to do it again. And that's just, I think that's just unique characteristics of, like, great athletes, the ones who are never satisfied. And I think we just kind of, like, that was in the DNA of every individual, and it just kind of got bred into the fabric of the organization. I think from the top down, everybody just wanted to continue to win. You heard Joe talk about it throughout his times. You know, people might have taken what he said, you know, the right or wrong way, but he's just a competitive guy. And that's just his competitive spirit. You know, you talk about Steve Kerr. I don't know how many championships he has because there's so many. You know, right? It's crazy. He's catching Phil Jackson already, right? Right? Who would have thought that would be the situation? Someone could catch Phil Jackson. And then you look at Bob Myers and the athletes he's had as an agent, and then you look at when he was here, and look at what he's doing right now with the Commanders. Look at what he's doing with the group who has multiple franchises, and you know they want to be attached to winning folks, and we kind of had that built in. And Rick Welts as well, you know, Hall of Famer, created All-Star Weekend, and just globalizing the game of basketball. We just had winning was just all throughout everyone involved. Me being older, so me being able to have, you know, some type of impression on them being younger. Also, I think the backgrounds of everyone involved. You know, I've talked about it before. Steph and Clay coming from NBA families. You know, they weren't fazed by much. You know, like the glitz, the glamour, the lifestyle, all that comes with being a professional athlete. You know, there's a lot of traps just waiting for you, and I'm speaking in terms of notoriety, the fame. You know, Sports Center, what you're playing for. You're playing for statistics, you know, all those things that didn't faze them. And it kind of, you know, fell into their personalities. You know, like they're not moved by most things professional athletes are moved by. And so they had a calmness to them, a carefree spirit to them, which makes them great. But on the other side of it, you need balance as well. And so you need someone who's hungry, you know. One of my favorite things about Draymond is he would always say, like, what's your why? Like, why do you play the game of basketball? And it really shows up. You know, I always talked about how it shows up in the playoffs. And, you know, Draymond can say you can play for money, you can play for fame, you can play for different things. But if you don't actually love the game, then it's going to show up at the worst or best time, depending on what side of the ball you're on. And so he was a guy who was passionate, who loved the game of basketball. He had that fierce competitive nature, Draymond being Draymond. But if we don't have that, and if you don't have that balance, and then I kind of fell in between in the middle of it all, you know, coming in, playing 9 years into the NBA, you know, having individual success, some type of team success, playing on the Olympics, seeing that type of success, and then just kind of seeing how things were built with our roster. We had an opportunity to do something special, specifically with that first year we won a chip. And then you really get to see who folks are with how they respond to winning the championship. Like the work, like we upped our workload after we won it. And I think those are the things that are like really special that I can reflect on and say, you know, that's what really set us apart.
All right, that's Andre Iguodala talking at his jersey retirement ceremony on Saturday. It is your Desert Diamond Casino replay today. And it's brought to you by Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet. Andre Iguodala has a son, Andre Iguodala II. He plays basketball, as you can imagine, much like Gilbert Arenas' son and some of the other sons that came out of that early 2000s era here at the University of Arizona. Andre Jr. is, his birthday's in a month. He'll be 18, so he's 17 years old right now. He's 6'7" already. A 4-star prospect coming out of high school. One of the teams that's looking at him, the Arizona Wildcats. In fact, Andre and Dad were in town earlier this week. Or over the weekend, I should say, for the BYU game. Andre talked about it. In fact, they left here and went back up to San Francisco for the ceremony Sunday night. Talked about his son, Andre, his appreciation for the Warriors' run, and the recruiting trip they took down here to the U of A.
I mean, he's a teenager. You know, they got all the answers. But we just got back from his official visit to Arizona late last night. We got back at like 11. And so we saw part of the BYU game. He had a great visit. He's like way taller than me now. And he shoots it just as well as I could shoot it at the end of my NBA career. Like, he can shoot. And so I'm in the dad mode where I'm just picking this game apart. And I'm probably like overly critical. But he said he wanted to go pro, and I'm giving him all the advice I wanted someone to give me at his age. But he's taking it in stride. He's a late bloomer like I was. It's been special for him to see. He saw it all. And so he gets it. We started winning too much, and he got bored, which is weird. Not weird. I mean, this is normal. What was he? He was 11, 12. When we were winning a lot, he got bored. He was like, I don't want to go to the games. I know the outcome. It's just crazy. But then the 7-year-old, like, has no idea of what's going on. And my 15-year-old, the boys just yell at her in the hallway, I want Iguodala all day, every day. Like, she's sick. So she gets it, and she knows she has fun with it. But the 7-year-old is, like, blind to it all. And she's like, oh, this is why people approach you so much when we're out in public. Like, she's starting to understand.
Andre Jr., again, 6'7", 175 pounds. He is in the class, looks like it was class of 2025, so he'll be this year. Yep. And he has said that his dream schools are USC and Arizona. So we'll see in terms of where he goes. He does not, I'm just looking him up on On3 in terms of, he doesn't appear to have high numbers or high rankings or anything like that. So we'll
saw
see.
Like, I think maybe 80s, high 80s, something like that as far as rankings this year. Yeah.
He is 165 pounds, so he still has some beats
His
to
pops
put
was
on.
pretty skinny when he got on campus at the U of A. I remember Andre Iguodala's very first game. I mean, I remember all of his games at McHale. But, yeah, he put on quite a bit of weight, especially when he got to Philly. He was skinny as well.
And he plays at a school called Lynx Academy in Branson, Missouri. That's an interesting place. I've not heard of that school, or I've not heard of Branson, Missouri. So I have no idea where that is. Maybe that's outside of St. Louis right there. All right.
Branson's that's where the Sons of the Pioneers and all those. It's like an Old Westy type of thing.
All right. There you go. All right. So Andre Iguodala, jersey retired, the first of many from that Warriors run. I mean, Steph will be there.
Yeah.
Clay will be there.
Get those rafters ready, right?
Draymond will be there. Kerr will be there at some point as well. Just a tremendous, tremendous organization. Still not done. Guys are still, like I said, guys are still there playing, so we'll see.
2 years ago, right? Wasn't it 2 years ago they won the title? Yeah.
Exactly. 2 years ago. That is your Desert Diamond Casino replay. It is brought to you by the Desert Diamond Casino Sportsbook. It is Arizona's best bet. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Nogales and Aerospace Parkway and Nogales Highway, hit and run wreck reported there. Earlier crash that occurred westbound I-10 near Prince Road. There's some light freeway slowing on the westbound side of I-10 approaching Prince. 53 the low, sunny, 84 tomorrow, and 82 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
Discover luxury at BMW of Tucson, your premier BMW dealership. Explore our extensive inventory, lease specials, and state-of-the-art service. Visit us at the Tucson Auto Mall or at bmwoftucson.com today.
This report is sponsored by Arizona Lottery.
When you play the Arizona Lottery, there's always a chance you'll win big, but there's also a guarantee that you'll be giving back to the community. There's joy in it all. Love the play with scratchers, draw games, and more from the Arizona Lottery.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
What is your beef?
The proliferation of ignorant vampire movies.
I've got serious beef with dishes that need to be hand-washed in 2025.
I don't think I've called my brother by his first name since that drop started with brother.
Shoplifters, because they have made it virtually impossible to buy undies and socks. I'm a 53-year-old man.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at 1 on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time. The next time you're out to dinner with friends, you can order the shrimp cocktail for the table. And maybe you'll realize it only comes with 4 shrimp after you've already given away 3, but that one shrimp will be so good. And if you switch and save hundreds, you could get shrimp all the time. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For shrimp. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Wildcat fans, Taco Bell is a proud partner of Arizona Athletics and is ready to serve you. We're open for breakfast. Fire up your mornings with breakfast at Taco Bell. You've heard about Happy Hour? Well, try Happier Hour at your local Taco Bell for $1 beverages. From 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., choose any regular freezes or medium drink for $1. It's the happiest time of the day. Taco Bell is locally owned and operated and is looking forward to serving Wildcat fans. Stay safe, bear down, and live Moss.
Tucson, it's time for the Color Guard Classic by Exact Sciences, March 7th through the 9th at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. See some of golf's greatest players compete for the coveted Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. It's PGA Tour Champions golf at its finest. And Saturday night, under the stars, see Co Wetzel live in concert at Rieto Park. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences, benefiting colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Tickets and more at cologuardclassic.com.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Why? Because you're not playing me.
With rapid-fire takes.
Y'all went from the Super Bowl straight to the toilet bowl. He's not over the NFL. The NFL is over him.
Scorching debates.
All the good, all the bad, all the ups, all the downs.
He's the Spitfire of sports smack.
Sorry for what I said because it was appropriate when I said it, but I can't say it anymore, dude. You are killing the game.
The Jim Rome Show podcast. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
This is Zach Gelb with the Sports Minute, sponsored by TaxSlayer. Start following free today at TaxSlayer.com. The Packers want the tush-push ban, and Falcons coach Raheem Morris and Bills coach Sean McDermott are in agreement. Here's my question, though. Why? And don't tell me it's for player safety, because there's still many dangerous acts on a football field that are allowed. In reality, the Eagles have become automatic on the tush-push, while others struggle with it, and that's the real reason why some are trying to eliminate the play, because it's a big advantage for Philadelphia. I'm Zach Gelb.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund is belong to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax-confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use Use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
O'Reilly. You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Last segment of our show today. Don't forget, again, women's basketball coming up top of the hour on KCUB-AM 1400. Derek Palmer will have coverage coming up probably in about 6 minutes or so. They generally get going there about 5:50 or so. We tip off at 6. Arizona, Texas Tech. The Red Raiders enter with 8 straight losses in a row. So a great opportunity for the Wildcats to end their home season with a victory and hopefully a big crowd as well. There's routinely been 7,000 plus in the house for a lot of these ball games this season at McHale Center. And J-Dub, the ladies are doing pretty well in attendance in terms of the rest of their Big 12 brethren.
Yeah, I mean, the reputation has been they fill McHale up for Adia's teams. I'm looking at the stats. Arizona currently second in average attendance per game at 6,515. Only Iowa State is ahead of them. They're also quite a bit ahead of Kansas State, who's in third, by more than 1,000 fans per game on average. Only Iowa State and Arizona, DK, have drawn more than 100,000 fans to their games this year.
All right, earlier we were talking about our BetMGM top plays, and our top play last night was Trae Young and how many assists he might have if he would have plus 10 in the game. He had 14 last night for the Atlanta Hawks, but that wasn't even the best performance in terms of dishing out the ball last night in the association.
How about that? And it's Brown cutting again and laying it in. How about the pass from Jokic? I mean, he's running. That's a 6-6. Strother, Jokic, floater, and Najee. Jokic, no look. Porter Jr. hits a corner three and opens up the scoring here, the third for Denver. Jokic just lobbing it up. Brown hangs and lays it in.
Yeah, pretty nice night for Nikola Jokic. You even heard Zeke Najee was the benefactor of one of them dimes. The Arizona Wildcat alum. Zeke played 24 minutes last night, scored 14 points. That's a pretty good night for Zeke Najee in the association. For the leader, though, Nikola Jokic, 18 points, 19 assists to go along with 9 rebounds. So he came up a rebound short of a triple-double. There was some name they called this. I heard, I forget what exactly it was. I think it's when somebody gets 18, 19, and 9 or something. There's a special name for that.
I know there's a LeBron.
Yeah.
I don't
started
know.
with an S, but I can't remember what it was.
LeBron is 27, 7, and 7.
Okay. So if a LeBron is 27, 7, and 27
Yeah, they
points,
call it LeBron because that's his career average, and he's never actually had that specific stat line in a game ever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the joke. Would you believe it that Nikola Jokic, even though he's won MVP so many times, is not the career assist totals leader in NBA centers history? It's not somebody you might think either.
So wait. Total. Wait.
He's second all time in assists by a center.
Nugget. Oh, by center.
By a center in NBA history. He's got 5,207 assists all time.
And it's not somebody you said we think we might.
It's not somebody known for his passing. So you wouldn't think that he would have. He's got about 500 more assists than Joker.
Jabbar?
Yes. So Kareem has 5,600 plus, and Joker is closing on that with 5,200. So, yeah.
I mean, Kareem wasn't a bad passer.
No, he was great. What I said was he wasn't known for it. He was known for getting buckets.
Right.
I mean, I watched a lot of Kareem play. He could do anything he wanted to on a court. But I don't think the average fan will probably think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Because remember Wilt Chamberlain the one year led the NBA in assists?
Right.
Because he's just like, next year people say I shoot too much watch what I can do. I'm going to lead the NBA in assists. Kareem just played on a team that really moved the ball around a lot, right? And they had a lot of good scores, especially on those Lakers teams. So, yeah, not super surprising to those who saw it.
Michael Malone is the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. He had this to say about the 19-assist performance by his big man, Nikola Jokic.
If you're a player that has no weakness, I mean, there is not one chink in that armor. The guy is just an amazing, complete basketball player. And I think the most remarkable thing is not just the 19 assists, but the satisfaction and joy that Nikola gets from making his teammates better. I mean, he'd be happy getting 19 assists, no points, and us winning than any other superstar that I've ever come across. And that speaks to who he is. He's a humble person and understands that this whole thing is always much bigger than the individual. It's the collective. But, 19. Another, what is that, a Sombor double? Is that what they call it? 18, 19, and 9. He's got to lead the universe in those the last 10 years. But he's just an incredible player, and what a luxury to have when you can just play through him down the stretch of a close game, and you know something good is going to happen each and every time.
Sombor. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of that?
Sombor double. No, I mean, it must be a Nikola thing. That's where he's from.
Okay. That is cool. 19 assists for Nikola Jokic. Aaron Gordon in that ball game last night had 25 points and 5 rebounds. 116. The Nuggets beat the Pacers on the Pacers side. Obviously, that's the game where you got a lot of Wildcats involved.
So
Ben Mather in 19 minutes scored 8 points, 3 of 7. And did TJ play? It does not appear TJ played in that game last night.
While we're on the subject of the NBA and on former Wildcats, you were talking about Keyshot earlier.
Right.
I did look it up, and he did get recalled back to Miami on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
He doesn't look like he's suited up, but doesn't look like he's gotten in games since then. But he's averaging 18.5 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block and a half in his 22 G League games. So he's doing okay, and they keep calling him back up. Obviously, been a little roster turnover there with the Miami Heat as well, but he currently is back up with the parent club.
So TJ sprained his ankle in the fourth quarter of Sunday's game against the Clippers and did not play in that game last night. So he is a game time decision. I think they play again tonight. He's a game time decision for tonight. Also, big game tonight, J-Dub, in the association, because it is Luka's first game against the Mavericks. It's not in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's in Los Angeles, but it is the first game for him against his old team. J.J. Redick talking about Luka and the game tonight against the Mavericks.
Part of what makes him brilliant is that he makes the game easy for everyone else. I didn't get to experience that as much as I would have liked as his teammate, but he would be somebody that I would just love playing with.
Yeah, and they're obviously playing for playoff positioning right now. LA's in the 4th spot. Dallas is in the 8th spot. That AD trade, AD played great right out of the gate, got a little bit banged up. Luka, had been out since Christmas Day, and he really, kind of was shuffling his way through the first 2 games in a Laker uniform. But that last game out versus the Nuggets, it was vintage Luka. He had 22 points in the first 14 minutes on the court, something like that. So
Suns are on the floor tonight as well. They'll wrap up their 5-game swing. Well, really, it was a 5-game swing because they played the last game before the break on the road as well, but 4 since the return from the All-Star break. San Antonio, Chicago, Toronto. They lost in San Antonio, beat Chicago, lost in Toronto, and they'll play the Memphis Grizzlies tonight at 6. So they'll wrap that up there now. 3 games under 500. They'll be coming home for a pair of games against New Orleans, Minnesota, and the Clippers will all come to town over the course of the next week. And before we get out of here, I just want to go back to, obviously, our breaking news today, which was the retirement of Diana Taurasi from the WNBA. Real cool. She broke the story with Time Magazine, which is awesome, national publication. There's a bunch of pictures in this article of Diana throughout her life. And the coolest one, I think, is of her on her 13th birthday in her bedroom in Chino, California, Chino Hills, suburban Los Angeles. And she's got all kinds of trophies and plaques for her basketball She's holding some balloons and flowers, and there's one poster on the wall. You want to take a guess who that?
What year was this?
You'll never guess who this. You'll never guess. I'll tell you, it's a Laker, but I don't think you're going to guess what Lakers poster she had on her wall.
Byron Scott.
Nick Van Exel.
Nick Van Exel, right before Kobe's time, was the man for the Lakers.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
To think that the one poster, at least in this picture, that you can see on the wall of Diana Taurasi as a 13-year-old was Nick the Slick, Nick Van Exel.
Crafty.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Great way to end a Tuesday show. All right, coming up tomorrow, Arizona Game Day, Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We will be with you at 3:30 in the afternoon for our coverage, and tip-off tomorrow is at 7 o'clock, Arizona and Utah, one of the final 2 home games this season for your Arizona men's basketball team. Thanks to J.W. Madden. Thanks to Cricket. My name is David Kelly. That is our time for tonight. Thank you, most of all, for listening. Again, don't forget, Arizona women's basketball right now happening on KTUC. Flip on over there and listen to Derek Palmer. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3:30. It's DK on the Sports Tip, and this is Wildcats Radio 1290.
There's really no place to start, but there's always a place to finish, and it seems to be in the same place.
AutoNation Honda and BMW of Tucson Traffic Center. This is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions on Nogales Highway and Aerospace Parkway, a hit and run. Earlier collision westbound I-10 at Prince Road, off on the side of the road. Eastbound I-10 slowing near Ajo Kino, also slowing westbound Ajo Admission. 53 the low, 84 tomorrow, and 83 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. Try a $3 Son of Baconator today. Big news, bacon lovers. Wendy's Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. For just $3, you get crispy, crunchy apple smoked bacon, 2 juicy beef patties, and plenty of cheese on a burger. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com.